Hello everyone, this is Buddy Club Binks and welcome back to Let's Play Seduce Me. In the last episode, unfortunately, our main character, Binks, which I named after myself, her grandfather passed away. And because of that, some tension came out between her and her dad, and he was a total jerk. And we're gonna be moving into our grandfather's estate, which he left to us for some strange reason. So, whatever, at least we get away from the douche of a dad. So, let's see who was calling us. I slid my phone out of my pocket and answered it while slowly easing myself onto my bed. Who could possibly be calling?
Hey Anderson, you there?
Hey, Suzu.
Is everything alright? We were worried about you, so we decided to call.
And Naomi.
Hello?
I'm really glad you guys called. My voice managed to come out, though it was only a whisper.
What happened? Are you okay?
Well, I slowly began to tell him about the funeral that afternoon. A small silence followed when I was done recounting what had happened, and to my relief, Naomi finally spoke up.
I can't begin to imagine how you must be feeling right now. I'm so sorry. Do you want us to come over right now?
No, it's okay. My dad isn't in a good mood. So, could we just keep talking on the phone like this?
Of course! We'd stay on the phone until the crack of dawn, right, Suzu? Yeah, we're always here if you need us. After all, we wouldn't be the awesome triple threat trio without you, right?
Yeah.
Triple Threat Trio? That sounds like the name of a gang.
Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, we're all taking on the world together. We've got to sound somewhat scary, or else no one's going to take us seriously.
Hmm.
What's with you and naming things?
Yeah.
You've got to step up your game, Naomi. Falling behind the cool kids like Anderson and me. Tisk tisk. Hey! I'm a cool kid! If anything, I'd say you'd have to step up your game.
We chatted cheerfully about all sorts of things. Very soon I had forgotten about the events that day and was engaged in a conversation about Naomi's favorite TV show, some program called Herlock. Um, are you trying to set me off? That is just missing one letter. One letter from Sherlock. Do you know how much I love Sherlock? Oh my God. Okay. Yep, that is a total ripoff of Sherlock. Okay then. Nice. I like this. We all agreed that the actor playing the titular character certainly had a very distinctive look about him. Oh, Benedict Cumberbatch. With that long overcoat and scarf wrapped around his neck. We had many disagreements about who we thought was the coolest character. I adore him, but I also really like Watson. Oh, don't get me started on the last season, okay? Yeah, he has really high cheekbones, and his eyes are pretty. Though, see, she prefers Watson too. Though I do have to say, I prefer Jetson. And as a bonus, his actor is just so sassy. Man, breaking breaking the rules, man. Talking about Sherlock. I looked at the clock hanging on the wall and realized how late it was. Whoa, it's already 1 a.m.? Sorry for keeping you guys up so late. I think I'm gonna hit the hay for tonight. See you guys at school tomorrow. I should probably shower and go to bed. I can't believe I stayed up this late just talking to my friends. But it was really nice. You needed that, honey, after what you went through. Well, to the bathroom I go. I took a relaxing shower. Nothing beat hot water and the feeling of being clean. After drying myself, I promptly dressed in my pajamas and crawled into bed. Ah, a nice hot shower after a long day. I'm so glad to finally be in bed. It had been a really long day. I knew that I was wishing for something to change back in class, but I certainly wasn't expecting any of the things that happened today. And I have to go back to school tomorrow. Ugh, can't you take a day off? I curled up on my side and tightly wrapped the blankets around me. I really wasn't in the mood to be returning to school, but my dad probably would make me go just for the sake of it. It's time to go to sleep. I reached out to the lamp on my nightstand to turn the lights off. However, my mind was so lost in the passing of my grandfather and the thought of inheriting something so big that it haunted my mind the entire night until the next morning. Ooh, I shook my head to try to clear the sleepiness out of me to no avail. I really didn't get any sleep last night. It's already time to wake up. Wait, school. As soon as I realized I had to go to school, I slid out of bed and looked at the vanity mirror. That's a relief. Luckily, there was barely a bruise on my cheek. You had to squint to actually see it. I doubted anyone would actually notice it unless they leaned in really close. Breathing out a sigh, I got dressed, took my backpack, and caught the bus to go to school. It wasn't even hours before everyone heard the news. I was approached in school and given condolences for my loss. However, that wasn't what shocked my friends.
Wait, so you have the whole Anderson house to yourself? Lucky as hell, man!
You know that means she has to clean it by herself, right?
Quit being so sensitive, Naomi. Quit being so vulgar, Suzu.
um, well, I think it's fine, Naomi.
Of course you would side with her.
What? I sided with you last time.
Ha! See? At least she knows how to have fun. I know how to have fun. You don't need to be wild to have fun.
Guys, I'm going there after school today because my parents want me to get used to living there.
Seriously? It hasn't even been a day since you came back to school.
I know, but my parents want me to try living there as soon as possible.
Still, that's really
Of
fast.
course.
Are you going to be okay?
No. Of course. But even in the comfort of my best friends, life seemed to keep testing me. Oof,
Hey! Don't go around shoving people like that.
who the hell did that?
Whoops. Did I strike a nerve, Capini?
That's Lisette? Why does she look like that? Um, I mean, I'm not saying it's not possible, but why am I getting a vibe? I'm getting a total vibe. She just lost her grandfather and you're starting a fight with her? What the hell? She let out a small laugh as she twirled her hair around her fingers. She's so hideous. I'm sorry. Oh, Lisette, one of the last people I wanted to see today.
It's not me you should be apologizing to.
We're lucky that's not really me, because girl, I would go off on you. I would pull that hair right out of your head. Okay, I'm sorry. Don't mess with
Oh,
me.
Anderson. Hey, how's it going?
I'm alright.
Haven't you already heard, Lizette?
She don't care.
Of what?
Her grandfather's passing.
Ah, well, I'm sorry about that. I don't really watch a lot of news.
It doesn't really sound like you mean it.
I do mean it. Earnestly. Why wouldn't I?
Typical Capini. Isn't her family involved with the mafia or something? I wouldn't be surprised if she brought out a bat from behind her back right this moment.
Okay, that is what? I nearly forgotten the crowd that followed Lisette, which was mostly comprised of people that no one wanted to see on a typical school day. No one had the slightest idea of why exactly they followed Lisette around persistently, but they labeled themselves as social equals with her. Why are you following her? She is. Okay, nope, not gonna say anything.
That is out of line. Suzu comes from an honest family.
Says the one whose family profits from political scandals.
What the hell?
Yeah, your dad doesn't make anything unless he's in the court with dirty politicians.
Oh.
Hey, let's all calm down for a second, alright? I'm sure Anderson needs some time to recuperate. I mean, what just happened? We need to give her some respect.
Oh, you're so fake. A second ago you didn't care. Just stop. Stop acting like that already. Like you feel sorry for me.
What are you talking about?
I'm sure you're happy seeing me like this. You already have everything you've wanted. And now, seeing me like this, life couldn't get any better. Bitterness seeped into me, and words started flying out of my mouth without filter. Oh no, not again. But honestly, I didn't care. I was so consumed by anger that I only saw Lisette in front of me. What exactly am I to you? Just another part of your obstacle course? Is that what I am? I'm sick of it, Lisette. I'm sick of all of these charades. I'm sick of you. Gasps rose from the crowd around her, and I was brought back to the school hallway. Even my friends beside me looked at me in surprise. One girl looked like she was going to speak up, but Lisette held her hand up to stop her. There was an emotion in her face that I couldn't quite make out, but I could see a form of pity in her eyes. No, don't you dare pity me. I looked away from her. I didn't want to see that emotion in her eyes when she was talking to me. She didn't have the right to look at me that way.
I'm sorry. I know your grandfather passing away must have really taken a toll on your emotions.
Now she's being genuine. She stepped towards me and put her hand on my shoulder, giving me a tiny smile, as if for old time's sake. Oh, dang it. This character, I understand that you're upset, but no, you're gonna screw things up. But for some reason, I didn't feel comforted at all. Not that I was just angry at her, but the expression on her face when she leaned in close to me contorted into something complex. Something was different about her. I couldn't quite place my finger on it, but something about her had definitely changed. Yeah, look at her. Okay, never mind.
Well, I'll be going for now. Track meet responsibilities and all of that stuff. See you later.
Okay, whatever. Something about Lisette made me feel uncomfortable. I wasn't just angry, but also uneasy. What was it? I had never seen her like that before. But I decided to pay no further attention to it. She continued running down the hallway with her gaggle of friends behind her. I refocused my attention to Mrs. Phillips, who was walking down the hall towards me.
Is everything all right, girls?
Where were you earlier, darn it?
Nothing we couldn't handle, Mrs. P. Just a bunch of snobs.
Suzu, hush! It was nothing, Mrs. Phillips.
I see. Well, Miss Anderson, please accept my condolences for your loss.
Thank you, Mrs. Phillips.
Your grandfather was a good man. He really upheld the philanthropy of his company's policies, and the money that went towards charity, too.
I know. He was amazing. I really looked up to him, and I want to be as good as he was.
Well, I know that you'll be as great as your grandfather.
Hell yeah, she will. She'll be 10 times better than her grandfather.
Would I? Would I really be better than my grandfather? Everyone seemed to have high expectations for me. I wanted to do my best and make my family proud, but to be better than my grandfather, I wasn't sure about that. From outside the school window, I saw a familiar blue car pull up to the curb. Undoubtedly, it was my father in the driver's seat. Oh, my ride's here. Well, I guess I'll see you both tomorrow.
Want us to come with you?
I should. Oh, no, it's okay. I'll be fine. See you. Hey, Dad.
Hey, honey.
We said it the same way. Oh, awkward. As I got into the car, I noticed my father looked troubled, clutching at his steering wheel and staring straight ahead, as if something was really bothering him. Oh, now you feel guilty?
About what happened yesterday. I'm sorry for yelling at you. Does your cheek still hurt?
No, it's nothing to worry about.
I mean it. I shouldn't have laid a finger on you. You know that you're my most precious daughter. You're all that I have.
And yet you're forcing her to live in a mansion on her own? Douche. Yet he couldn't bring himself to say what he could never say to me for such a long time. I always wanted to hear those words to affirm how he really felt, but I guess even now he couldn't say it to me. I turned my head away to look out the window. There was no point in waiting for something that was never going to come. And like that, he started to drive and the conversation between us ended. That's sad. I mean, I don't have a dad, but I would hate for our relationship to be like that. I decided to focus my attention on the passing scenery. We were taking the usual route to grandfather's house. It was located within the vicinity of the school district, but it was still pretty far from the school and where our house was. He had always lived alone. He insisted on doing things by himself, even at his age, living in such a large house. I wondered, did he pass away with no one at his side as well? It sounded so lonely and sad. It was strange that he decided on living all alone in his large estate. If anything, he could have lived with us, though he and my father probably would have given each other the silent treatment the entire time. Maybe living alone was preferable to that. I actually hadn't visited him for quite a while. Visits to his house were most frequent when I was a child, and I had grown up long since then. The last time I visited, though, I thought he looked just as he usually was, happy and healthy. But things change. In the back of my mind, I knew that he would have to leave one day. It wasn't like humans could live forever. So why did my heart still feel so heavy? The car ride was mostly spent in silence until he spoke up again.
How was school? Maintaining your grades, I hope.
Really? Yeah. I've been trying my best as of so far.
Trying? That's not really doing the best you can, is it?
What the hell, douche? With my father, only some words I said were filtered through his ears. It was difficult to keep up a conversation without eventually talking about academics or my future, even if it was something loosely based on it. He always found a way to integrate it in whenever we talked.
Anyway, your belongings are in the trunk. There isn't a lot, so I'm sure you can manage bringing them inside the house. After all, you are on the road to being independent now.
Yes, I can manage on my own. The usual silence resumed between us. I really wasn't sure what to say around him, especially when most of the time we didn't share the same opinions. So she's gonna have to handle what, all the bills and stuff too? One question did linger in my mind, though. If he was going to justify acting so nonchalant at grandfather's funeral, I had the right to at least know why. Ooh. If I try again, things might get worse between us. But if I leave it alone, I'll never find out. Let's try again. Hopefully she'll be more calm this time. Say, Dad, about you and Grandpa.
We are not talking about this.
Oh boy. I feel like we should be, because Grandpa did leave us yesterday, so.
I wouldn't care if he had left even long before that. I do not want to hear it, and that is the end of this conversation.
As always, he managed to shut down any other form of conversation related to him. It was just like what happened last night. I opened my mouth slightly, but I closed it again. It was like talking to a brick wall. At least we tried. It wasn't like I could find out anything by somehow arguing my way through it. All right, then. I leaned against the car door and stared out the window. I really couldn't think. What would this place be like? I had been to my grandfather's house before, but it was one thing visiting and it was another thing actually living there. How had I managed living on my own without any training to really care for our house? I knew that naturally the bills would be paid by my parents, who inherited grandfather's stock to the corporation. Okay, that's good at least. But I had never lived independently before. Thinking about it made me feel like some kind of bird being pushed out of the nest. Though I was technically an adult, I felt unprepared and a bit daunted at the prospect of actually moving into a new place. Girl, I feel you. I've been living with my mom my whole life, so I don't know. I mean, I want to experience it one day, but it's kind of scary. Scary. Most people my age would be ecstatic moving out. After all, it would symbolize some kind of change in their lives, like being on the road to independence. But I felt like it was nothing of the sort. I really hoped I wouldn't let my parents down. I wouldn't want to let grandfather down. What would he be saying right now? I gazed up at the passing clouds in the sky. If you're out there, grandfather, how would you be doing? Would there be anything you'd want to tell me at this moment? And of course, no answer. What was I doing? Searching for an answer in a heaven that would or would not exist. I ducked my head to stare at the blur of trees and cars from the car window. My head was definitely going into clouds there at the moment. Either way, I found myself being driven off to my new home. So that's where we're going to leave this episode, guys. Ugh, geez, this is so much exposition before we get to the actual dating part. Hopefully that part will be awesome, though. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you're enjoying this. And until next time, have a nice day. Bye.